If you feel like you've tried everything with food, discipline, structure, meal plans, willpower, and somehow it still feels harder than it should, this video is for you. Because today I want to talk about what happens when that control stops working with food. For some people, that happens after years and years of dieting. For others, it happens when appetite changes. And for many, right now, it's happening while using medications like GLP-1s. Hi, I'm Bonnie Giller, registered dietitian and certified intuitive eating counselor, and I have spent quite a while, over 3 decades, helping people rebuild trust with food and their bodies. And in this video, I am going to explain why control feels so tempting when food feels uncertain, why it eventually backfires, and what actually creates real stability with food long term. Now, let's start by talking about why control stops working. For most of your life, control probably worked for you everywhere else. You learned how to push through challenging times. You learned how to set rules and follow them. You learned how to create structure, meet deadlines, and get results. That skill set serves you beautifully in work and in leadership. But food is very different. Food does not respond to force, and neither does your body. Your body doesn't open up under pressure, and trust can't grow when fear is running the show. And that's where so many people tend to get stuck. A lot of people who find their way to me, they say something like, well, I can run a company, $1 million company, but I don't trust myself with food. Or I get full quickly now, but I just don't feel steady. Or I don't even know what my signals are supposed to even feel like anymore. This confusion shows up in different ways for different people. Some people come from years and years of chronic dieting. Some are navigating intense stress or burnout. And lately, a lot of people who are coming from this place where, hey, my appetite has changed because of medication are just so confused. So all of this are different paths, but the same struggle underneath: a loss of trust. When trust erodes, control automatically moves in. Rules feel safer than uncertainty. Tracking feels safer than curiosity. Restriction feels safer than unpredictability. On the surface, it looks responsible, but inside, it creates constant mental pressure around food. You second guess everything: your hunger, your choices, you override fullness, you analyze every single choice, you worry about quote unquote messing it up. And the irony is, the harder you work to control food, the more disconnected it usually feels. Now, GLP-1s didn't create this, they exposed it. So now this is a very important distinction. These medications do change your appetite. They don't automatically rebuild food trust. So for many people, hunger feels quieter, fullness comes on faster, interest in food shifts. But what often surprises people is that confidence doesn't automatically follow. In fact, fear sometimes increases. Fear of not eating enough, eating too much, regaining weight, not losing enough, doing it wrong. So control tightens. And suddenly, people who thought this would simplify food find themselves feeling even more unsure. The real work is not about hunger, it's about trust. Most people think their problem is their appetite. It's too strong, it's too quiet, it's too inconsistent. But in my experience, the deeper issue is almost always this: can I trust my body when I don't have rules? And that's not a silly question. If you were taught to control yourself for years, trust feels unsafe at first. But here's what I want you to know: Trust doesn't mean chaos. Trust doesn't mean giving up structure. Trust means building stability from the inside, not from fear. So, what actually creates stability with food? Stability doesn't come from perfect execution. It comes from consistent nourishment, learning how your signals work now, what they sound like, separating fear from eating decisions, and letting go of the idea that hunger equals failure, letting go of the idea that fullness equals loss of control. And yes, this matters whether you've been dieting for decades, your appetite has changed, or you are on a GLP-1. So whether you're on or off a GLP-1, this matters because in every case, the root work is the same: rebuilding trust. If any of this sounds familiar, you feel successful in life but unsure with food, your signals feel different than they used to, you rely on rules because trust just feels risky, or you're asking yourself, am I actually nourishing my body well? Because that's important to me. You're not broken. You're responding exactly how a smart, capable person does when the system they relied on no longer works. And the good news is, trust can be rebuilt. So if your hunger cues feel quiet or fast or inconsistent or just confusing, I created a simple 5-question check-in called your GLP-1 reality check. It's just a way to pause and get clarity about whether you're truly supporting your body right now. If you'd like, you can find it at the link below. And whether you take that step or not, I hope today gives you permission to soften the pressure that you've been carrying around food. You don't need more control, you need support. This reality check at the link below is good for someone who is on a GLP-1 and who is not on a GLP-1. It definitely will give you something to think about. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with those who can benefit. And as always, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Comment below. I will be sure to respond, and I will see you in the next video.